Hello guys, welcome back to Field Skills. I'm David Fields, and today we're going to talk about sustenance, and in particular our catch kit, being able to secure food when we're in a survival situation or when we're just out in the woods on a 2 or 3 day hike overnight, catching protein, meat. And what we're going to talk about today is our catch kit. Now I did a video on catch kits, and today we're going to put this into action. But before we do that and go to the pond, I want to just remind you of the what our catch kit is all about, and what I have in this big one that I carry in my overnight pack, if you will. It's just a plastic water bottle that I got from Dollar General, somewhere like that. Saw on one of those sale racks, and it really works nice because number one, I've got a container for catching grasshoppers, worms, whatever I may need if I do it. It's a drinking container. I can use it as a canteen to carry water in, maybe go get water to bring back and boil and put it in my other, but just multi-use on that. On the outside I have some Gorilla Tape, duct tape around here, and then I've got a little bit of bank line, as maybe you can see, wrapped around here and tied off, just so I've got some cordage with me on this thing. And then around here I've got some spider wire, fishing line with a snap hook on the end, so that I can put a lure on that I've got in here, or just hooks, weights, whatever it may be for fishing. And I use this as my reel, and we'll fishing off of this. But then on the inside, take the top off. One of the things I'm able to carry in my catch kit is a frog gig. Fits right down in there nicely. If I'm out around some water that has maybe snakes, maybe frogs, or something, I can cut a sapling, mount this to the end of it, and I've got a gig, a frog gig in there to help secure food, to catch food in that. So that works nice. Got a little extra bank line if I want to make some trout line type things out of it. I've got plenty of fishing line. I can tie this off, work just multiple uses there. One of the other things I carry in here is some a pack of leader rigs. These are small wire leader rigs. They work great to make snares out of them. You can take those hooks and loop it around, make a great snare in some of this bank line, and you can set out. This pack has 6 of them in, so I could make 6 snares out of this to help secure food. But I could also use it on that trout line situation if I needed to put hooks on it and catch fish in that thing. So multi-use, but they come in real handy as part of my catch kit. I've got this little small reel, I guess you would say, that I've got some regular monofilament line on it with some hooks. They're actually leaders that are wrapped around there, and then some more spider wire with a hook and weight on that to make more fishing line if I need to be. Then I carry a little small bag here that has eye hooks, and we'll show you what we use those for in a minute. Some jigs, a little spinner, a small float, hooks are in there, more snap swivels, leaded weights. All of that thing fits in just a little small bag to do that. I take these little small containers and I put in there some of those artificial worms. Red wigglers is what they look like. They have a smell to them. They're moist, but I carry some bait with me in there, so it goes in, and I keep them in these little containers. I think they're makeup containers you can find in the makeup section of Walmart or any of your big stores like that, but just makes a nice little container and keeps them from getting all sticky. Got a little flag, another float in there, and a little bit of flagging tape. Can be for my rescue situation, but it can also be for marking where I've got bank lines set out or limb lines set out, something like that. I can use it to mark where I've set out these snares if it were to be, or trail things. So just something that goes in, but all of that fits into this nice little container. All of it's multi-use, and it's going to allow me to have a reasonable opportunity to secure food when we're out in the woods or in that survival or longer term situation. So it all works through there, and we'll may even take this with us when we go to the pond, show you how to fish with this in and using this as the reel. But I wanted to show you, see if I got it right here. This is one of those little bitty Altoids tins, and in it I carry a small fishing kit with me. It's got a small sewing machine bobbin reel, I think is what you might call it, here, that I have just spider wire fishing line wrapped around it, so I've got fishing line in it. I have spinners, lead-headed hooks to go with some jigs, and rubber worms, plenty of hooks, some regular lures, jigs in here. If I can get all this out through that, small jigs. So enough stuff with me there, and we use these small eye hooks to create us our fishing line, our fly rod type thing, or a fishing rod there. And I'm going to show you that in a minute, but I've got all of the small things, split shot weights, hooks, jigs, a fishing line, and one of those small floats in there if I need it. And all of this is going to work to help me secure food. So hold on one second and let me cut a quick sapling and show you what we use these little eye hooks for in just a minute. Alright guys, what I've done is gone out and cut me a couple just small saplings out there. One good bit longer than the other one, just depending on what the coverage is around the area you're fishing. If it's thick and all, you may want to use a shorter one that you can get in and not get hung up and tangle the end of your rod up. But if it's open, fairly open, you can cut one even up to twice this length to make your fishing pole out of it. But today, for where we're going, it's kind of thick around this old pond back over here. I'm going to use this short one, and hopefully you can see a little better about what we're going to do. Now, we've got our small Altoids tin, and what I'd use is a Ranger band, piece of old bicycle inner tube cut up to hold that in place. Let me put that out of the way. So this, I can carry this small Altoids tin, you can see that, you know, just right in my hand, and I can put it in anything I'm going out with. And I've got a catch kit, especially for fish, but it could be used to make some snares and various things. And the first thing I want to do is to go in here and pull me out, let's say, I've got 4 or 5 of these, I'm going to call them medium eye hooks. I'll show you a close-up of that in just a second. And then I've got a couple of these small eye hooks. So let me set this out of the way and just show you easily here what those little eye hooks look like. You can get them at your hardware store. Very easy to do. So these two right here are the medium ones, and that's the much smaller one. And what I'm going to do, I want to use this end as my handle right there. So I'm going to come right up here on the end and screw in this small eye hook. There we go. And we screw that in, and right there you can see it's on the end. Then what I'll do is come right down here about midways and put one of these medium ones in. Do the same thing with it. So we got 1, 2, and then we can come down here. Right there is going to be our pole length, and I can put one either on the bottom, or I like to put it on the side over here. The other two are under the bottom, and this one's going to be kind of on the side, just about my hand, and this is what I'm going to use to tie my line off to. Okay guys, you may notice that the scene has changed a little bit here. I started shooting this video, actually was shooting 2 videos last weekend, excuse me, while I was out here, and had a little minor emergency at the house, some plumbing problems in our utility room, a leak. My wife called me, had to go back to the house and do some plumbing last weekend, and the rest of the weekend it rained. I wasn't able to get back out here. So it's the next weekend, and I'm back to finish up this video we started on our small mini fishing kit and creating a fishing pole and all last week. So that's why the difference. Before I got the call to come home last week though, we had started the small pole using the little screw-in eyelets that you get at your hardware store or something. And of course you can create your fishing rod, your fishing pole, out of just a sapling any length. This is about 3 foot, just so I can kind of keep it in frame for you in the shot. But you could do a 3 foot, a 6 foot, a 9 foot, whatever. You've got the room and the accessibility to get into the water and create your fishing pole, fishing rod out of that. So of course we screwed in we screwed in 2 just to kind of show you that, so make sure it's on. I put a small eyelet right here at the top, one about halfway down here, all of this under the bottom of the way I want to hold the pole, and then I put one down here at the bottom on the side, and this is where I'm going to tie my line off to to create my reel, or we'll really use it similar to a fly rod in pulling in and holding the line. Okay, what I've got here is my little sewing machine bobbin with a little fishing line. It's spider wire, the braided line. So what we're going to do is come into that small eyelet on the end and just feed it through like you would a regular rod and reel set. Get that off. Spin us off some line here. Set that back down over there. Alright, take it, run it through that middle one we put about halfway down, and then we're going to come down here to the bottom and just tie us off a simple little double overhand knot or something, just some quick way to tie this off to the to that bottom. So now we've got our rod fishing line in, and it's coming out through the end. So where'd my little bobbin go there? Alright, so what we'd want to do is run out a good stretch of line here. What I'm going to do, get me a spindle, man. See if that little piece of pine straw, oh yeah. Run it out through there, and we've got a pretty good length of fishing line. Cut that off, set our spinner, I'm going to lock that in there. So now we've got our fishing line on the pole, tangled up on the pole right now, but we'll spin it around, get that untangled, and we're out to the end. Okay, I've got my small fishing kit in the small Altoids tin there, and I've just taken a basic hook. Let's see where I can't see that in the basic hook right here. You can see that, and we're going to tie a hook on the end of it. Alright, I'm going to spin that out with just a loop, and I'm going to twist that loop about make about 4 or 5 good loops in that. Then the loop down at the bottom near the hook, I'm going to take my tag end, run through that, which creates a second loop up here. Come back through that loop, grab it, and pull that down tight and lock it in to that hook. You can see right there. Hope you can see it anyway. But we've got it, our hook tied on. I'm going to cut the tag end off of that. Alright, so we've got a hook on the end of our thing, and I'm going to take, for now, before we go, just put one split shot on it. We may have to add another if we need a little more weight. But I'm going to go up, because I know we're going to be fishing for brim, I'm going to go up about 6 inches above the hook. Feed that slip shot through the split shot there. Can squeeze that. I use my teeth, which may not be a very bright idea, but I do anyway. Or my multi-tool I could have gotten out. But now we've got a piece of slip shot, our hook. And in there, of course, I carry that small float that I can add to it when we get there and create just a simple fishing rig. Hook, weight, float, and sinker on there. So I tell you what, why don't we turn the camera off. I'll head over to the pond and we'll turn it back on and see if we can catch a fish on this mini fishing kit that we carry in our Altoids tin and a small sapling, and how we've created a catch tool for survival or when we need meat or protein to be able to catch fish. So let's head over there and see what we can do. Okay guys, we're out here at the pond. I'll do a little panoramic view of it for you to show it. But it's an old pond sitting back in the middle of a stretch of woods. I don't know where it came from, but it's out here and it's got brim all in it. I've caught them here before. And we're out here, we're going to test this mini fishing kit and our fly pole, I guess we could call it. Semi fly rod, fishing pole, cane pole, and how we'll use it. We're using this little short piece today, so as I said earlier, so I could kind of keep it all in the camera angle for you. But you could use any length of pole, and you just cut your sapling when you get out there. Find a a piece. What's ideal is if there's some cane in the area. I don't have any around here, or that's what I would be using. But if you can find a piece of cane growing or a cane stand, cut you a cane pole and create it with the small eyelets. So let me give you, in a second, I'll give you a quick pan around of where this little pond is, give you a quick look at it, then we'll bait this thing up and see if we can catch a fish. Alright guys, got my hook, my weight, my float attached to the end of my fishing line. As I showed you in the in my big kit, the little my larger catch kit that had the frog gig and the snares and all, I carry some of these artificial worms. And to expedite things today for me, I'm going to use artificial worms rather than trying to dig up and find some bait for us to use. But you can find these at any of your sporting goods stores, and usually I only use about half of one of those, but keep them in those little makeup jars. Works out real nice. Let's bait this hook. Run it right down through it, just like you would a regular worm. Leave a little tail on it, and let's see what we can do with this thing. Alright, as you remember, I had this wound up around the middle and the bottom eyelet just to transport here. But what we're going to do then is, to make this similar to a fly rod, I'm going to pull that line down, catch it with my finger, continue to pull, and right there we have it. Alright, so let's see what we can do. Keeping my out of the way, and I hope you can see from here. Right there would be dinner. Well guys, that's the emergency fishing kit. Small Altoids 10, using my rod, catching a few fish today, being able to sustain myself. Sustenance is what that emergency fishing kit is all about. So everyone needs to have at least a small miniature fishing kit in your kit as you go out into the woods. So that's the video for today. I hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you've learned something. As we end all of our videos, we use the quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson, where Emerson said, "Life is not a destination. Life is a journey." So come join us as we journey to self-reliance here in the great outdoors. My name is David Fields, and you've been watching Field Skills.